Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Zuleka if you're new here. And if you're just a returning subscriber, what's up? I just was thinking about something and I just wanted to make a little spontaneous type of video. I really have a hard time just doing these sit down type videos because I feel like it's too simple, and for some reason, simple things feel so difficult for me. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about comparison. I was taking a shower not too long ago and I was thinking about this song called Comparison Doesn't Work. I forget who the singer is, but it was a cute song that I heard on like TikTok or something one day. And I was like, oh my god, that's such a good song, such a good reminder. I really needed that. And so I ended up downloading it. And I sometimes, when I'm like, I have my phone on shuffle, my music on shuffle, I'll just randomly hear it. And so I was thinking about it today and I was like, oh my goodness, like I really needed those words in that song today because I found myself just kind of feeling low and I wasn't sure like why I felt that way. I tried like thinking about like, okay, did anything happen? Like, has my self talk been good? Have I been keeping up with my self care? All that stuff. And I'm like, I haven't been speaking negative to myself or anything like that. So I'm not sure what caused it. I know I saw some pretty sad news a couple days ago, and so I know that that kind of affected my mind just a tiny bit. But I just couldn't figure out like what was the problem. And so I did some journaling, and I just started thinking about like, oh my goodness, like a couple days ago, I did find myself compare myself to someone. I guess I just felt like I wasn't doing enough or something like that. And so I was kind of comparing myself to someone who I felt was doing enough and just kind of like downplaying the progress that I've been personally making and kind of feeling like if I'm not doing this level stuff, then am I really even doing anything? And just kind of like thoughts like that started to kind of circulate, okay. They started to like circulate in my mind, and I just started feeling a little poo poo. Okay. And so I started thinking about the words of that song while I was journaling, and she says something about like, don't get caught up in all of the lies, thinking that they have better lives. Who are we trying to impress? If God woke you up, then you are blessed. And then she goes into the chorus, comparison doesn't work. And she starts comparing different things, and she's showing how you just cannot compare these two different things. You will never be able to compare them. So be who you are, don't compare yourself to other people. And so when I thought about those lyrics, I was like, you know what? She's so right. Like, why am I wasting my energy doing this? Why am I wasting the uniqueness and originality that the Most High made for me to be? Why am I trying to compare myself to someone else? Like, that's a waste of you, and that's a waste of me when we do that. And I get it as humans. Like, unfortunately, we just have moments where we will compare ourselves to people, and it's just one of those things that happens. But I'm really trying to get into the act of catching myself before I go down into that hole, because like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. You can feel your energy literally getting zapped out of you when you start comparing yourself to other people. You start thinking like, oh my god, that person's doing so much better, that person has this, they're just, oh my goodness, what am I doing? And you start downplaying everything that you are, everything that you have accomplished, and you don't even see the beauty in your own story unfolding because you're trying to chase after what that person is doing. And I think it's so important to just remind ourselves that, like, that person has their path, you have your path, I have mine, and they don't always lead to the same place. Even as artists and creatives, right? I'm sharing my creative journey over here, so sometimes tend to attract more creative people over here. What I've noticed is that this creative journey will not be the same as another creator. I've seen other people's stories and I love their stories, but I know that my story probably won't be like that. We just have to like accept that, like, okay, my life didn't look like that person's. It's not supposed to. And there's nothing wrong with you if it's not looking like someone that you look up to. And we all have our own stories. And so I made a video about this on my Instagram last week, and I'm no longer comparing my timeline of where I think I'm supposed to be by this age. I just turned 25 like 2 weeks ago now, and I felt really good about it. And then I had some moments of like comparison because I'm like, oh my god, 25 is like a grown age, like I should probably have this and that in order. And I don't have everything perfect. I'm working towards the goals, and I'm starting to show up on here and on my Instagram, and I'm starting to paint more consistently and stuff like that. But it's just taking time. And I think that's the struggle and the dark side of comparison. It doesn't factor in that things take time, and you just see other people like soaring to the top, and you feel like you should be right there, not knowing that things probably didn't go as fast for them as it seems. And even if it did, that's okay. That's their story. Get inspired and move on. So I'm just like, I'm taking a social media detox because I notice when I'm spending too much time on social media, I start to compare just a little bit more than usual. And I think it's because I start feeling like, oh my God, this person is putting out this much content. Oh my God, this person is like made like 30 paintings this year. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? And before you know it, I'm forgetting all the progress, all the stepping stones that it took me to get to this place. And yes, there are other people who are further, and I feel like I should be further at times. I really do, but I'm learning that even the pitfalls and the mistakes I've made and the delays and all that stuff, it's all a part of the story. And I would not be me without those things. So learning to have a plan, but also being okay with things being different than I expected, and not looking at that as like, oh my God, I'm a failure or something like that. But just being like, you know what? My life it went a different way than I wanted it to, and I would have liked for it to go a little bit more like this story that I really liked, or this person that I was inspired by. I would love to have a story similar to that, but I'm learning that like the Most High makes no mistakes. Number one. Two, I'm never gonna be someone else, and that's a waste of who I am to wish to have or to be anything other than who I am. Three, we all have our own timelines. Some people will do it really, really young. Some people will do it older. Some people will do it in their 80s. Whatever it is that is the source of what you're comparing yourself to, um, just know that like we all have different timelines. And I know that the world kind of pushes strict timelines, and so that can feed into that whole comparison stuff. But just know that you're where you're supposed to be. And if you feel like, no, no, I'm not, which sometimes I feel that way, then ask yourself, what is one action that I can take to get to this place of where I want to be? And how can I have the patience for however long it takes for me personally to get there? Because I know sometimes like we have goals and things like that, and we're like, in 6 months, I'm gonna do this. And I think it's good to have those, but I'm personally taking off the time limits because I feel like sometimes they do more harm than good for me personally. I do everything I can and I don't achieve that specific goal. I start feeling as if, like, what am I doing wrong? And sometimes it has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It just may not be your time yet. I don't know. I'm thinking about this, and it just was on my heart, and I just wanted to make a little video talking about it because it's real. Like, as a person, as a human living this experience, it's so easy to just compare yourself, and it's something that I'm working so hard not to do. Every once in a while it hits me and I'll fall into it for a little bit, but I'm able to pull myself out of it. So I just hope that this could remind you that you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you, and it's okay if life looks different than what you expected. That's not always necessarily a bad thing, and know that your time is coming, and things will work out. So just do what you can. Don't downplay all the good that you've done, because I'm sure you've done at least one thing that you can be proud of yourself for. So hold on to that one thing. It may not be as big as somebody else's, but applaud yourself for how much strength it took for you to get to where you are right now. And just take the day in pieces. I heard somebody say that. Take the day in pieces, one step at a time. Think for the future, but don't live in the future. Live here, now, here and now. Take it in pieces. Everything's gonna work out in the end. And so just do what you can today. Do what you can in this moment, right? In the next 5 minutes. Don't think about the next 5 years. Just think about today, right now, because tomorrow isn't promised. So do what you can in this moment and be okay with your life being your life and not looking like someone else's, because you will never be that person that you compare yourself to. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because that means that you're going to be you and you have a beautiful story unfolding. So don't waste it looking at what other people have. Hold on to your joy, hold on to your hope. Don't let anything take that from you. Okay? So I hope that this could encourage you guys tonight. This is just like a random little video, just something that was on my mind randomly, and I just wanted to talk about it. So hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys very, very soon with another video.